Thomas Reed had built his empire from nothing. At 58, with silver threading through his dark hair and tired lines etching his face, he'd learned that success came with a price. His corner office on the 42nd floor felt more like a cage than a throne these days. Elena Martinez was 32, though her gentle eyes held the wisdom of someone who'd faced life's harder lessons early. She'd been his executive secretary for 3 years now. Be efficient and kind, always arriving before dawn to have his coffee ready, his schedule organized, his world in order. It was a Thursday morning in late September when everything changed. Thomas had left his reading glasses in the office the night before. He arrived at 6:30, earlier than usual, using his key to enter through the private entrance. The building was still quiet, the cleaning crew just finishing up. He walked past Elena's desk, noticing her purse but not her coat. Strange. He pushed open his office door. Elena stood by the window, facing away from him, her shoulders shaking. With silent sobs, she held a photograph in her trembling hands. She hadn't heard him come in. Thomas froze. In 3 years, he'd never seen her at anything but composed. He should have left quietly, should have given her privacy, but something in the way she held herself, so small and broken, kept him rooted to the spot. Elena. His voice was soft. Careful. She spun around, quickly wiping her eyes. Mr. Reed, I'm so sorry. I didn't think, I'll just... She moved toward the door, but he gently raised his hand. Please, don't go. He paused, choosing his words. Are you all right? She looked down at the photograph still clutched in her hand. Fresh tears spilled over. I'm sorry. This is so unprofessional. I just needed a moment before the day started, and I thought I had time. Thomas crossed the room slowly and gestured to the chairs by the window, the ones he never used. Will you sit with me? Just for a minute. They sat in silence for a long moment. Outside, the city was waking up, golden lights spreading across the buildings. My daughter, Elena finally said, her voice barely above a whisper. This was taken 5 years ago. She would have been 17 today. Thomas felt his chest tighten. Would have been leukemia? She fought for 2 years. We tried everything. Elena stared at the photo, a small smile breaking through her tears. Look at her smile. Even when she was sick, she kept smiling. She used to tell me, Mom, don't cry about tomorrow. We have today. Thomas sat quietly, feeling the weight of her grief as if it were his own. He thought about all the times he'd been brusque with her, all the moments he'd been too busy to notice she was human, not just efficient. I lost my wife 7 years ago, he heard himself say. The words surprised him. He never spoke about Catherine. Cancer. And I threw myself into work because I didn't know how else to survive it. I built walls so high, I forgot there were people on the other side trying to reach me. Elena looked at him then, really looked at him, and he saw recognition in her eyes. Two people who'd learned to hide their pain behind professional masks. I come in early every morning, she said softly, because the house is too quiet, too full of memories. Here, I can be useful. I can help you, and that makes the day bearable. And I stay late every night for the same reason, Thomas admitted. Going home means being alone with the silence. They sat together as the sun rose higher. Two lonely people who'd been working side by side for years without really seeing each other. Would you tell me about her? Thomas asked gently. Your daughter? Elena's face transformed. For the next hour, she told him about Maria. Her love of painting. Her terrible jokes. The way she'd learned to dance between chemotherapy sessions. Her dreams of becoming a teacher. The strength she showed even at the end. Thomas listened with his whole heart. Asking questions, laughing at the funny parts, feeling the ache of the sad ones. When she finished, he told her about Catherine, their 30-year marriage, her love of gardening, how she'd make him stop working to watch the sunset, the trip to Italy they'd kept postponing until it was too late. At 8 o'clock, they heard the elevator doors opening, other employees arriving. I should... double quotes Elena. Started to stand. Elena. Wait, Tommen looked at her seriously. I've been half alive for 7 years. Today, talking with you, I felt human again. Would you'll have coffee with me tomorrow morning? Before work? Just to talk. She smiled. A real smile that reached her eyes. I'd like that, Mr. Reed. Thomas, he said. Please call me Thomas. The next morning, they met at a small cafe 2 blocks from the office. They talked about their families, their fears, their hopes. It became a ritual. Every morning at 6, before the demands of the day began. They shared coffee and conversation. Slowly, gently, they helped each other find joy again. Not romantic love, though the office gossiped otherwise. Something deeper. 2 wounded souls, who'd found friendship in unexpected places. Thomas started leaving work at 5 o'clock. He joined a grief support group. Elena told him about. He began to remember that life was for living, not just enduring. Elena started painting again. Something she'd given up when Maria got sick. She framed one of her paintings, A sunrise. And Thomas hung it in his office where everyone could see it. 6 months later, on what would have been Maria's 18th birthday, Thomas found Elena in his office again by the window. This time, he didn't hesitate. He stood beside her, and together they watched the sunrise. Honoring a young girl neither of them would ever forget. "Thank you," Elena said quietly, "for seeing me that morning. For not looking away." "Thank you," Thomas replied, "for letting me see you. For teaching me that it's okay to still be here, still living, even when we've lost so much." The city sparkled. Below them, full of possibility and pain, heartbreak and hope, endings and beginnings, all mixed together in the complicated, beautiful mess of being human, and to people who'd almost forgotten how to live, found their way back to the light. One small moment of grace at a time.